Hello and welcome to the ASHI Leadership Orientation. My name is Kathy Giavetsis and I'm ASHI's Executive Director. On today's call, I'll give you a brief ASHI history lesson, introduce you to ASHI headquarters staff, discuss ASHI's strategic goals, and then talk about ASHI leadership and how you can be successful in your role as a committee member, committee, or program chair, or board member. ASHI is an international society of professionals dedicated to advancing the science, education, and application of immunogenetics and transplant immunology. The birth of ASHI as we know it today began as an informal serum collaborative in 1972 known as CRAB, which stood for Cooperative Regions Against Bureaucracy. This group discussed ways of increasing communications among HLA labs. They developed a newsletter for the exchange of sera, ideas, and interesting case studies. In 1974, the organization was incorporated as AACHT, which stood for the American Association of Clinical Histocompatibility Testing. The name of the organization was officially changed in 1984 to the American Society for Histocompatibility and Immunogenetics. ASHI is a nonprofit 501c3 organization with total net assets year-end 2018 of $3,315,000. Our membership grew from 600 members to now over 1,400 members. ASHI is professionally managed by an association management company in Mount Laurel, New Jersey called AH. AH manages more than 30 associations worldwide, including organizations in the fields of science, medicine, trade, and entrepreneurial. AH's mission is to advance organizations to greatness. Our vision is to be the most trusted and innovative management partner to associations. If you'd like to know more about ASHI's management company, AH, you can look us up on the web at ahredchair.com. Here's the ASHI staff organizational chart. It's the ASHI staff's responsibility to work in accordance with ASHI's bylaws, to implement policies and procedures, to provide orientation to board members and committee chairs, to work in conjunction with committees and board members to complete ASHI's goals, to provide management advice, financial information, and reports, to plan and manage ASHI meetings, to implement fundraising plans through corporate support, and to always represent ASHI to the highest standards in all communications with our members. And here are your ASHI staff. This is me. My name is Kathy Giavetsis, and I'm the Executive Director. This is Mandy Cruz. Mandy is the Assistant Executive Director. Melissa Weeks is our Accreditation Manager. Cheryl Hartman is our Proficiency Testing Coordinator. Joelle Colon is our Administrator. Jessica Hayes is our Meeting Manager. Beth Hogan is our Associate Meeting Manager. Ryan McLaughlin is our Meeting Coordinator. And Samantha Kress is our Marketing Manager. If you haven't met all of us in person yet, you will this fall if you come to the ASHI annual meeting in Anaheim. Now let's talk about your role as an active ASHI volunteer. As a member of an ASHI committee or program, you will be asked to make decisions and set goals based on ASHI's mission, vision, and strategic goals. So let's review those now. ASHI's mission statement reads that ASHI is a professional society dedicated to advancing the science, education, and application of immunogenetics and transplant immunology. Our vision is to be the foremost and leading educational resource in immunogenetics and histocompatibility. In order to be that leader, we have to set strategic goals. The board held a strategic planning session in June 2018. There, they set ASHI's strategic plan for the next few years. The board narrowed the strategic plan down to 3 pillars. ASHI strategic pillars are education, membership, and partnerships and collaborations. Education, to improve and enhance current offerings to develop new content. Membership, to grow membership, particularly by recruiting younger members, to create more membership diversity by expanding membership reach to others within the transplant community, and to increase engagement, particularly among younger members, with an eye toward succession planning from a volunteer leadership perspective. And the third pillar being partnerships and collaborations, to build on the number of worthy collaborative opportunities with existing society partnerships, and to identify new societies with whom to partner and collaborate. The board formed 4 task forces to set goals for each of these pillars, and over the last 2 years, they've made so much progress, but they couldn't do it without the assistance of you, our dedicated volunteers who keep ASHI moving forward. ASHI volunteers and volunteer leaders are the key to ASHI's success. You are on the cutting edge of current issues. You network with other transplant professionals, and you make a difference in this field. To be a successful ASHI volunteer, you'll need to be committed to your role. It takes time and energy, vision, respect for others, and courage to be an effective volunteer and volunteer leader. That's great and everything, but now you're probably thinking, WIIFM, what's in it for me? What are the benefits to volunteering for ASHI? Well, you will learn to be more diplomatic as you listen to your fellow committee members share their views. You'll also learn essential team building and organizational skills, as well as how to plan effectively and use management tools. But probably the number one benefit of being an ASHI volunteer is that you will meet like-minded people from all around the world who share your passion for HLA, and those connections will enhance your career and possibly your life for years to come. Let's talk now about ASHI's organizational structure. In your head, ASHI's organizational structure may seem like this, but in fact, it's really quite organized. ASHI holds an annual election whereby ASHI members elect the board of directors. Within the board is an executive committee comprised of the president-elect, the vice president of operations, past president, who also serves as program chair for this year's annual meeting, secretary, and treasurer. The executive committee has the power to make decisions on behalf of the 15-member board. The board oversees all of ASHI's programs and committees. However, each program and committee is assigned a board liaison to guide them, and also a staff liaison to assist them in carrying out tasks such as setting up meetings and taking minutes. This organizational structure empowers more of the membership to engage with the society. It distributes the duties and responsibilities evenly, allows us to gain input from a wider segment of the membership, allows us to benefit from the talents and expertise of more members, improves lines of communications, and ensures the continuity of ASHI leadership. This structure is designed to provide mentoring right from the very start. As you move up from committee member to vice chair or co-chair, and from vice chair, co-chair to the chair position, you will have plenty of help and guidance from the board and staff. Let's learn more about board members' responsibilities to the society. Board members are responsible to establish and approve ASHI's strategic plan. They assist their committees with goals. They enforce the bylaws and policies. They ensure proper management of the society. Board members make sound financial decisions for the society. The board members hire the executive director. Board members review and approve programs, recruit new board members, assist with fundraising for the society to offset the cost of running all of ASHI's programs and meetings, and to represent ASHI to the highest regard. Committee chairs represent the committee to the organization and are the primary advocate for the committee. Committee chairs will complete board reports, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a bit, provide updates in the ASHI Quarterly and the ASHI Insights e-newsletter. Committee chairs give verbal committee reports at the annual business meeting. They communicate committee requests and board motions to the board liaison who will bring the request motion to the board. Committee chairs maintain regular communication with their committee members and with their board liaison. They define committee's goals in accordance with the strategic plan. Committee chairs create and implement programs and policies to accomplish their goals. They work with their board liaison to monitor the finances of the committee. Committee chairs work with and evaluate the staff. They enforce bylaws and policies. They recruit new committee members, and they, too, represent ASHI in the highest standard. As the incoming chair, you'll want to assume responsibility for the work of your committee immediately after appointment. You can prepare for this by making arrangements with the outgoing chair and the staff liaison to discuss the work and direction of the committee and any specific responsibilities that have been assumed by members. Reviewing the ASHI Operations Manual that describes the goals and responsibilities of your committee. Committee chairs review the committee's most recent committee meeting minutes, and they also compile their personal goals for the committee. They identify the strengths and weaknesses of committee activities and products, and then draft a strategic plan for the committee. Some of your committee's goals will have been passed down to you from the previous chair, but some will be new goals generated by you and your new committee. Remember to ask yourself and your committee members these questions often. Who are we, and why does this committee exist? What do we want to achieve? How will we get there? What will we need to do or change to get there? What steps will we take, and who will be accountable? Finally, try to align your committee's goals with those of the overall ASHI strategic plan. The board meets 3 times annually, so in preparation for their meeting, committee chairs are responsible to write a board report. A report template like the one here will be emailed to committee chairs approximately 6 weeks before a board meeting. You'll be given a deadline for when you need to send your completed report to your board liaison. The board report template has 3 distinct sections: items that require board action or discussion, informational items, website updates, and committee goals. Your board liaison will be the person who reports to the board on your committee's behalf, so it's important that your board liaison understands what you've written and asks for clarification if needed. Remember, we want you to succeed as a committee chair, so if you need assistance, never hesitate to contact your board liaison or your staff liaison for guidance. So how will you accomplish goals? Well, one way is to meet regularly by conference calls. Conference calls. We love them and we hate them. They are a necessary evil, so let's make them as productive as possible. How can you do this? First, establish a date and a time for your call. Your staff liaison will poll committee members for a common date and time. Once that date and time are determined, the staff liaison will send a calendar invitation to reserve everyone's time. This invitation will include the conference call details. Next, you will want to develop an agenda including a brief paragraph about each item. At least one day prior to the call, ask your staff liaison to send a reminder to your committee members. Attach the agenda, meetings from the previous call, and any additional materials to be discussed. Last, but definitely not least, start and end the call on time. Most ASHI conference calls are 1 hour. We know that you have a real job outside of your ASHI duties and that you have a real life to enjoy. Let's all be respectful of each other's time. Following the call, the staff liaison will send the minutes to assure that action items are completed. You don't want to micromanage, but you do want to follow up on action items before the next call. As the chair, you should periodically check with committee members regarding progress or obstacles with their assigned action items. You should also encourage and recognize progress toward completion. And you'll want to work to resolve any obstacles promptly. Contact your ASHI staff liaison, your division head, or other committee chairs personally for assistance or support. Committee chairs, please don't forget that your board liaison and staff liaison are ready and willing to assist you when needed. They can help you with defining goals and objectives, budgeting and other resources, setting priorities, assigning tasks and timelines, interacting with committee members, tracking progress, and evaluating goals once they are completed. At the ASHI annual meeting each fall, you can arrange for your committee to meet face-to-face. You've all been working so hard all year on accomplishing the committee's goals. Now it's time to gather in person, discuss what's been achieved, what's still in progress, and then set goals for the new year. This may be a time to invite new committee members to join the committee too. Your staff liaison will help you make the arrangements for the meeting. You'll want to prepare for this meeting the same way you do for conference calls by announcing the date and time of the meeting well ahead, planning the meeting agenda, and sending a reminder to committee members prior to the meeting. Oh, and don't forget to ask your staff liaison to order snacks. Also at the ASHI annual meeting, committee chairs are invited to give a committee update at the annual business meeting, which usually takes place on Thursday afternoon during the annual meeting week. You will have 3 minutes to address the audience and tell them about your committee's goals and achievements. You'll want to prepare by outlining your key points, speaking clearly and slowly, and being respectful of the time allotted. Don't forget to thank your committee members while you have everyone's attention. Now for our committee members. Thank you. You've taken the first step by joining a committee and helping ASHI to achieve its goals. By now, you have probably attended a call or two, so hopefully you've gained some insight on your committee's tasks and goals. Your committee chair and the staff liaison will provide you with an overview on how your committee operates. They will give you clear descriptions of assignments and the amount of time you can expect to spend on the assignment and readily accept your thoughtful input. In turn, you can be a successful and engaged committee member by attending calls and meetings, reading the materials before the meeting, participating with enthusiasm and contributing your ideas, respecting the opinions of others and using diplomacy, voicing your concerns, giving your committee chairs feedback, helping the committee chair to stay on the agenda, following through on commitments to complete work, knowing your limits, and helping to recruit and train new committee members. So whether you are a first-time committee member, a seasoned committee member, a committee chair, or a member of the ASHI board, we thank you for your commitment to our society. Together, we can ensure that ASHI remains the foremost authority and leading educational resource in immunogenetics and histocompatibility. And together, we can continue to improve practices in HLA and save more lives. This concludes the ASHI Leadership Orientation. We're glad you took the time to learn more about ASHI volunteer leadership. We look forward to working with you and helping you to be a successful volunteer leader. Please don't hesitate to contact your board liaison, or an ASHI staff member if you have any questions. Thank you.